mute. Yeah. So let's take the question. Somebody was asking, sir, do we have only UiPath training under hyperautomation or we planning to cover blueprints and automation as well as in the future? Yeah, yes, we will also cover those things too. But our initial agenda was on UiPath for the initial 6 months. So we gonna target something on UiPath. Because uh, the content what we have started as part of Hyperautomation-ai. So we three are basically from the UiPath MVP backgrounds and all. I'm like we are from the RPA background where we have worked on multiple tools, which includes automation, web, Prism, Power Automate and all. But mostly we have been targeting something on the UiPath because it is something which was leading the markets. So that is our agenda here. Why we have chosen a UiPath rather than other tools like automation and web, Blue Prism or Power Automate in the market. Yeah. Yeah. Without much delay, let's jump into our uh, agenda today. So the agenda which we are going to cover today is about the table extraction, and we will also see something related to the recorder. Okay. So once again, welcome to day 8 of Hyper Automation for UiPath training. So if you are still looking for any opportunities and all, you can just follow this particular page. You can see from last 2-3 months, we have been posting around a lot of content around this particular page, Hyper Automation AI. Please to follow where you can get all the things related to the job openings across the globe. So we can see we are around like 3K followers in the span of like 2-3 months. Yeah. Apart from that, let's jump into our concept of extracting the data from a particular web page. Right. So let's say I have some data in some web page which is spanning in multiple pages. So I have 6 pages of data here, and I want to extract all this particular data and write it back to the Excel. Okay. So that was my first scenario. Second scenario is nothing but I just want to extract only the first page data. First, I'll try to extract only the first page data. Secondly, we'll try to see how we can extract all the 6 pages data. And third scenario is nothing but I want to extract only a particular, let's say, a name and office. You have lots of columns here, but I want to extract only the required columns for my particular process. So that is the third scenario. So after extracting, I want to filter a particular data based on some criteria. So let's say that office is London. I want to extract only the data, or I want to write it back to the Excel where you have office as London only, right? So those were the scenarios which we are going to discuss today, and after which we'll touch base on recorders concept. Okay. So without much delay, let's jump into your path. Okay, so let me just open existing process. Yeah. So we have some existing process where I'll try to create some flow chart here. So it talks about data extraction. Right. So at the topic you can see we have something called table extraction. So we will utilize that particular concept to just extract some table data or structured data from an application. Right. So how can we do that? We'll try to see the step-by-step process here. So first of all, I'll try to click on the table extraction. So what happens? It will just give me with a pop-up stating to select the data to extract. So next I'll try to click on select data to extract. Okay, so then I'll come to this particular table which has all the elements, which is nothing but the rows and columns. I'll select any one of the cell here. So let's say that I'll try to select here a junior technical author cell. So it will say like collecting target information, and it will give you a pop-up stating that would you like to extract all the columns from the table? So I would like to say yes, yes. And if you can see here the preview data, so you can get all the rows of your particular data, right? So even you can see that there is something a data called salary is also been extracted. So how come that happens? So because if you can see there is something a data which is been in the background. So we have seen yesterday what are the different output methods available in UiPath, right? So in that we have seen we have something called full text native as well as OCR. So the concept which we are trying to utilize here is a full text method in the background for the table extraction. So that's the reason why we are able to even extract the hidden data that was available in your particular web page, right? So this is your particular data. So I'll not even utilize this extract data from multiple pages because my first scenario was to extract data only from the first page. Okay, so I'll just click on save and close. So I'll try to repeat the steps. So click on table extraction, click on select data to extract, highlight any one of the element here, and just click on yes, where you will try to extract the data and simply click on save and close. Right. So what happens here? It will automatically create you a container-based activity, use application browser, where it will try to say that, hey, I'm trying to interact with datatables.net, and here it was trying to extract the data, and you've been seeing that the data is stored in extract data table, which is of data table data type variable, right? You can also see the metadata here if you just go to the properties, and you can see that this is the table data which has been extracted. See here, it was a full text method. We can see that the attribute is basically full text method, and these were the columns we are trying to extract as part of the particular XML here. So this is something the metadata we are trying to extract from the application, right? So once we extracted the data, fine. I want to write it back to the Excel, right? So what I'll do, I'll try to search for an activity called write range. So we'll also discuss about these activities in the tomorrow session of Excel automation. So how we will try to read the data, how to write the data, how to append the data. So what is basically the difference between Excel and workbook and all, which we'll discuss tomorrow, right? So now I was trying to write the data. So where you want to write the data? So I want to create an Excel called data dot Excel SX, right? So what is the sheet name? I'll say it's a data tables one data. So what is the data? We have already the data stored in extract data table. So that is the data I want to pass, right? So here I have another property to enable the headers where it will try to write the headers data too. So where this data.xlsx file will be created. So in your project folder, if you open this particular folder, you can see here there is no file which is related to data.xlsx. But if you try to just queue without any folder date, like folder information and all, it will be automatically created in your project folder with file data.xlsx, right? So let's see whether it was able to create, it was able to extract, and write it back to the Excel or not. So let me try to run the file. Right. So it has extracted the data and written back in 3 seconds. So let me open my project folder. So we can see here the data.xlsx file is created for us. Right. So this is your data which is related to the first page. Right. Now, so this is my first intent. So now I want to extract the data which was there in all the 6 pages. So it's not 6 pages, but here we have data which is been there in 6 pages. I'll try to get all of the 6 pages data. So how can I do that? Okay. So what I'll do, we will try to utilize another table extraction. So we'd like to say like select data to extract. So we'll try to highlight for some people, what happens? It will try to highlight the whole page like this. You will be not able to extract the data because there might be a scenario that you haven't installed your plugin properly for the Chrome or IE or the Firefox. So in that case, you need to install the Chrome extension for UiPath again. So how to install, we'll show that. So would you like to extract all the columns? I would like to say yes. So which will help me to extract all the columns data. And at the bottom, you have something called extract data from multiple pages. You will simply click on yes. And what is the icon which will help me to move to the next page? So this is the icon which will help me to move to the next page. Right. So I'm trying to simply say that after extracting the data from the first page, click on this so that you'll be navigating to the second page or the third page or the fourth page or the fifth page or the sixth page. Right. So we would like to say like save and close. So initial thing we will try to disable. And we have written back the data to Excel, right? So which Excel we have written? The same Excel we'll try to copy paste and keep it here where we would like to write the data in a new sheet called data tables 2, right? So let me run the file. So we are on the first page, second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page, and the sixth page. Right. So let's jump into the same folder structure where we will try to see that tables 2 was created for us. So there is a new sheet called data tables 2 where it has written data related to 58 entries or 57 entries from all the 6 pages, right? So this is how you can write data which was there spanning in multiple pages. Okay. So now let's try to see how to extract the data, which is basically there only on a particular columns. Right. So I'll use a table extraction. So I'll select data to extract. So I'll just move to here the name. So you'll every time get a pop-up stating that would you like to extract all the columns from the table? I would like to say no. So here you can select a column data. right? We can say like correlated data. So we'll just say like click on confirm, where you can see that we have extracted only the names, right? Again, I'll try to just click on select data to extract. So I would now like to extract data which is related to office, and I would like to say confirm. So now we can see we have got office data. We can also preview. So earlier we used to get all the data, right? But now I was getting only the columns that is required as per my business requirement, right? So we would like to say extract data from multiple pages, yes. And I'll indicate this particular element, and we will try to just click on save and close, right? So what happened? We have got our particular data, okay? But we would like to write the particular data on a new sheet called data tables 3. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just click on save all, try to run the file. Okay. So it has extracted the data. So let's jump into our particular data.xlsx. Right. So we can see data tables 3. We have got only data which is related to the name and the office. Okay. So there is a third scenario. So we would like to go with the fourth scenario where you would like to extract the data, but you want to apply a filter and write back the data to your Excel, right? Hmm. So we have already extracted the data, right? So let's see. We will try to uh, just delete this. We would like to write again the data using table extraction. I would like to select the data, select one of the cell, click on S. So extract the data from multiple pages, click on the next button, and just simply hit on save and close, right? So before writing back to the Excel, what I would like to do is I would like to apply a filter here, filter data type, right? So what is the thing where you want to apply the filter here, right? So I would like to apply the filter here on a variable called extract data table. So after filtering your data, where you want to store your data. So I would like to store in the same extract data table. So what is a column you want to basically filter? So I would like to say like it's a office, uh, what I can say, column name, office. And I would like to say Tokyo is my values. Tokyo, right? So which is equals to basically Tokyo. Okay. So I would like to just click on OK. So where you will have your data, and I would like to write the data, right range workbook, where we would like to say uh, It's a data.xlsx file, right? So we would like to write in the same data dot xlsx. So we would like to write the data in filter data, and the data is extract data. Before just writing, we would like to see how many rows of data we have here in terms of token, because we have already written the data, right? So let me just open the whole data what we have and see what is the data we have here in terms of token. So we would like to apply the filter, see what is the office location related to Tokyo we'll have. So we have around how many data? So we have only 5 rows of data, right? The same 5 rows of data, it will try to write in a new sheet called filter data. So let's see how we can, whether it will be able to write the data or not. For that, is there any queries? One question here, I want to extract from 1 to 4 pages. Do have total 6 pages? How we can achieve this? We need to manually click the fourth. Of course, no. We have an option here, the filter data table. Sorry, in the extract data table, you have something called limit extraction, right? So we can say maximum pages, maximum rows, or no limit, and we can say number of items here. So if it's 0, it will try to go with maximum limit, or we can just simply say, hey, I would like to extract only 4 pages data, 5 pages data. Okay. So that is how we can do that. So let me just save the file, try to run the file. So it was extracting all the data. Right. So it has extracted the data. And we have our data in data.xlsx file. So let me just open that. And we have something called filter data, where we can see the location is basically only Tokyo, right? So we haven't used a property to write back the data to Excel using write range. We need to add the headers, which will help you to add the headers data. Okay, so that is how we can do that. So let's say that I have another scenario here. Okay, so let's say that I want to sort my data. So what is this sorting? So let's say that I want to first process data where your particular age is less, right? It is from what I can say, uh, descending order and ascending order, right? First, I want to process the data based on sorting levels and all. Okay. So let's say that first I would like to process data for less age, right? And later I would like to move to the more age. So how can you do that? So in that case, we need to apply something called sort data table. Like how you apply filter data table, there is something called sort data table you need to apply. But what I'll do is I would like to keep that here in the extract data table itself. So edit extract data. So we have an options here, right? Settings, right? So in the settings, we have something called age. And here you can try to sort either based on ascending order or descending order. So what I'll do, I'll try to keep it in ascending order where it will try to increase. And simply I'll hit on save and close. Right. And there's something called here the salary, right? And here I was trying to get the dollar value basically, right? So I would like to say I would like try to extract only the numbers. So what happens? You will get only the numbers. I would like to say text. So here I would like to say text. Then it will try to extract whole data, right? So there were some sort of this is something like a new uh, feature that's been introduced in the latest versions where you can directly sort your data, try to do some parsing in your particular data in particular applications when you're trying to extract the data, right? So what I'll do, I'll just hit on save and close, write the data back to my particular Excel called sort data. Okay. So if you can see here, the data is like in some jumbling mode and all earlier, right? So it was in some uneven age patterns and all. But as per my business requirement, it should process data which is having of less age at the first. So how can you do that? Right. So let me just try to run the file. Can you put the data in same worksheet? Yes, we can do that. It will try to overwrite. But if you want to write it to the same sheet, we would like to suggest to go with append data. Right, it's writing the data in all the 6 pages. And it has stopped doing that. So we would like to open this particular data and just go to this sort data. So where we can see the age, which is of less, it's been at the start and it's been in the ascending mode, right? You can also do that in the descending mode too. The thing is that you just need to extract or edit your extracted data once again. So here instead of age in ascending order, I'll keep it in descending order. Save and close. And I was saying that sometimes you will try to get the data highlighted as the whole page. In that case, you need to hit on tools, UiPath extensions. So make sure that you have been installed with Chrome or Edge. Okay. So that is how you need to do that. But still install, uninstall, and try to install once again so that it will try to work. Okay. So now I'm trying to keep the data in descending order. So I'm trying to write it on the same sheet now, right? So what happens, it will try to overlap the data. Earlier we have data in ascending order, right? But now we have the data in the descending order being replacing the existing data. It will try to overwrite. If you try to use write range. If you want not to overwrite the existing data, so then we would like to suggest to go with append data, append range. Right. So you can see here we have sort data where the highest age 66 is being there at the top. Okay. So this is how you can try to extract the data which is spanning on multiple pages on a single page, extract only required data and all these things. You can also extract the pattern based data. Okay. So what is this pattern based data? So let's try to open Amazon.in. Okay. So like I would like to search here something called iPhone maybe. Okay. So you're getting one single data, right? Right. So what is this data? So this is also a pattern based data, right? So what is a pattern we have here? So on the every first line, you'll have a product description. You'll have the price. So then you can see on every page you'll have the same. Like on every item you'll have the same pattern. Though it is not a data which is seen in terms of table, you can still extract this particular data. So how can I do that? I like to delete this. Use table extraction. Select data to extract. So what I'll do, I'll highlight the first thing which you want to basically extract. Right. This is my first pattern based data which I would like to extract. So then I would like to slowly scroll down and say that so this is of the similar pattern I want to extract. Okay. And I would like to hit on confirm. So if you can see here, all the items related to the particular pattern is getting highlighted, right? So what I'll say, I would like to hit on confirm. So what is the column name? It is basically description. So I would like to again go with the next pattern. So where I would like to get the price. So I would like to highlight. And similarly, you can see all the items getting highlighted, right? We can see all the similar items getting highlighted. So what I would like say, it is basically the price, right? I would like to hit on confirm. So let's say it's not on the first page you want to extract, you can extract all the 20 pages data also, right? You can extract all the pages, but it will try to take some time. Let's see whether we would be able to extract all the pages data or not. That will take some time. Let's see that. I would like to extract data from multiple pages. I would like to hit on the next button. So I'd like to save and close, where I would like to utilize the right range. So data dot xlsx Amazon data. So you would like to write the data and extract it. Right. So make sure you add the headers too. So it will try to say its description and the price. Let's try and extract all the pages data. Let's see whether we would like to get the data from all the 20 pages or not. Okay, so we will on the 20th page. Yes, it has written the data back to the Excel. So let's try to open data.xlsx file where we'll see the Amazon data, right? So this is basically the description of the particular item, and this is basically the price here. Okay. So this is how we can extract the data and all, basically using uh, correlated data. It's not that, excuse me, every time it's not only the structured data, it's something, a similar structure also we can extract the data. So once we extract the data, can we break description into parts, adding additional columns as color? Yes, we can do that. If you have color here, maybe yes, we have on every description we have that, right? So we can do that. Mm. Yeah. So this is how we can extract the data, which is spanning on multiple pages, where it's not only every time the table data, we can also extract if it has a pattern. Okay. So why I've shown this thing is because I've seen in multiple interviews, they'll ask you to open some website, try to search for some product, get some description as well as the price or as the ratings and all, sort the data and all. Like so, we have seen some sort of patterns earlier. So that's the reason we have just gone through this particular concept. Fine. So that is one thing. Now we would like to move to the concept of recorders, right? So what is basically recorders? Let's see that. Do we have any slides? I think we have less slides. Yeah. So what is the purpose of recorders here? So recorders helps us to build the skeleton of our particular automations without using the activities by dragging and dropping in your designer path. So what is this design? What is this things and all? Like let's see practically. So let me just open a new flowchart. So at the top, we have something called app or web recorder, right? So let's say I'm trying to open this application called AnyTeller. Okay. So once I open this application, okay, so I would like to write some data called 100. So 200, then 300. Then before clicking on accept, I would like to extract this account number, correct? So these were the four steps of data I would like to perform on this particular application. So whatever steps I'm trying to write here or enter some values. So what I would like to use is something called a recorder to generate a skeleton for me, right? So how would it generate a skeleton? So what I'll do is I'll click on app or web recorder. So I would like to say that I'm trying to interact with this particular application, right? It will try to collect the information. And after utilizing, I would like to say that I would like to write some data here. So what is the data? Let's say that I would like to enter some data called 98. Then I would like to write some data here again, which I would like to say I would like to write some data called 87. And here I would like to write some data called 23, hit on confirm. And I would like to extract this particular data. Okay. And simply hit on accept. Right. So then what I'll do, I'll just save and return to studio and connect this particular sequence. And I open the sequence. I have all the steps which is required for me. Right. It will try to utilize use application or browser. It will try to automatically launch your application. It will try to uh, click on application. It's not required basically. So then it will try to write the data like 98, 87, 23, and it will try to extract the data. So where I'm trying to store the data in XTR text. After extracting the data, I'll use a message box to print the data. So which is our account number basically. And finally, we are trying to click on accept, right? So the purpose of using recorders is nothing but it will help you to record your steps and convert that to your XMLs, XAMLs basically. We suggest not to go with using recorders. So if we are just kickstarting something, maybe just to explore the feature, we can use recorders. But in real time, it will not give you reliable selectors and all or reliable automations. So it is not suggested to go with web recorders or app recorders. It is suggested to drag and drop, interact with the application, get the properties, do some edits to the selectors and all, which we have learned earlier, apply those things. So that is where you can have your confidence on your automations because you are trying to edit your selectors on each element level and all, right? So this is how you can do that. Let me just quickly run the file. I'll close this application. It will automatically launch your application. Try to write the data. It's writing 98, 87, and 23. It will extract the account number. So then it will try to click on accept. And it will try to close the application. Right. So this is what you can do in terms of using recorders and all. Right. So that is a concept which we thought of covering today in terms of recorders. Let me open the slides related to the recorders. Let's see if we can show you some data. I think we don't have the data here for the recorders. Maybe I'll just directly open in documents.uipath.com. Right. So earlier we used to have these things like basic desktop web image native Citrix. So if it is something related to what I can say the classic design experience, you will have this thing. But if you're utilizing modern design experience, you would like to have only uh, what I can say app or a web recorder. So recording is an important part of UiPath Studio that can help you to save a lot of time when automating your business process. This functionality enables you to easily capture user actions on the screen and translate them to sequence. So basically, you're translating that particular data to your what I can say sequences of flowcharts you are basically creating it now, right? So that's basically you can also interact with the web-based application. So let me just show that example and we'll just wind up as of today. So I have this particular application also, right? It's a web-based application. So will I be able to do that? Yes, we'll be able to do that. So we'll just click on app or web recorder. So we would like to say that I would like to write something on the first name. Right. So what is the data you want to write? So I would like to say like this is the data. So I would like to write data on the last name. Okay. So I would like to address the data here. Okay. So I would like to write the data till this particular five column, uh, five things, five text boxes and all. So I would like to simply hit on save. Right. So I would like to close this application. It will also launch your application if it is closed. So let me run a file. So it's also writing the data as per our requirements. Right. So that is how we can automate things using recorders, but it's not advised to go with the things. Right. So this is how we can interact with something related to structured data and structured data and also using recorders related to web as well as app. Right. So any doubts as of now, please do let us know, or else we will just wind up the session as of today. Any doubts? Please do let us know. Okay. So we'll take that as no. Yep. Thanks for joining the session. We would like to meet again tomorrow. So Postman, where should we use in RPA? Postman is basically for APIs and all. So when you are trying to automate APIs, we can extract the Postman data. Any other things? Yeah. I think we are good for the session today. Yeah. Have a great day. Thanks for joining on the weekend. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karthikeyan, you were asking something, but we are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 Karth.
So can you just give some scenarios so that we can relate to that? In based on the scenario, we can use things
I'm like for what you're
in the
actually
upcoming.
looking. Sorry.
Something like a scenario based questions, like at what scenario we can use this kind of things in our real time.
Yeah.
real-time
See,
examples.
definitely. See, let's say that we have utilized an application called datatables.net, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can just do the practice on the same scenario itself, like where we have applied a lot of real-time scenarios. Like I want to extract only, I want to filter data related to a particular location. I want to get something data processed on ascending order and descending order. I want to get only a particular correlated data, all right? So we would like to say that so these scenarios something which we try to do on real time basis. But the thing is that you might see here something we are trying to show it on some datatables.net. But in real time also, if you have structured data, it might be on abc.com, or else it might be there on xyz.com. So when we're talking about input actions or output actions, so you would try to click, you would like to write something on a text box, you would like to uh, what I can say, get some data from an application. It might be same across any application. It might be ABC application, it might be XYZ application, it might be any application. So the actions remain the same. So that's the reason why we are trying to initially, what I can say, uh, we are trying to concentrate on the concepts, and we are also trying to replicate the scenarios what we are trying to do it in real time, right? So let's say that yesterday we have gone to object repository, right, where we have shown application how we can do it on an application, book my flight and all, where you can extract all the objects, how we can actually get some data from an application and print it in the message box and all, right? So though it's an extra day, it was book my flight. We can do it on any sort of an application. It remains the same. So that is what my intention was. So for making your particular basics very much strong, so we would like to suggest whatever you're trying to do it on daily basis in our particular sessions, try to replicate the same things. Okay.
Sure, sure.
If you are
Okay.
really looking for something more advanced and all, yes, we are planning for that particular sessions too going forward, which we would like to announce maybe in this particular month end. We would like to start but that particular things too, where we will try to concentrate on lots of things where we will try to announce. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Did I answer your question, or else like is it relevant?